Hello people of the internet and welcome to this video where today I will be attempting to build a muscle car in 1970, and it's probably one of the later years of, let's say, powerful muscle cars of old, so I decided it might be interesting. We could use fiberglass. Nah. Yes, nah. Yes, no. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it's in with it, really. Do we want a ladder? I don't know. I think we want a unitary, actually. This is a crazy idea, but you'll probably see where I'm going with this. I mean, it's a 1970, so it's not old, not like so old a unitary couldn't be done. It was early days of unitaries, but they were possible, that's for sure. So, panels can be steel. And then I could have corrosion resistant steel, perhaps, for this chassis. Front, we can go with a transverse engine, so I will. You know where I'm going with this? There were front-wheel drive American cars about this era, so I'm going to do one of them. And people will probably hate me for it, but then that's what I'm doing. We'll go with torsion beam at the rear. That way we have semi-independent on the back, and it's slightly better than using leaf springs, which isn't independent. Or even, I guess, solid coil, which is also non-independent at all. So, yeah, not even semi-independent. Ooh, it can't really be a muscle car with an inline 4. I think you get that by this point. And do we want a V6? Probably the minimum number of cylinders you could call a muscle car, but no, we're going with a transverse V8. Again, it was done in American cars of this era, so it's not like I'm doing anything too alien at this time. Although it weren't generally used for muscle cars, it was used, that's for sure. We have a 60-degree pushrod head. With 90 degrees, it's a bit better for height. I think I could try 90 degrees. Yeah, I'll try 90 degrees. I think I'll have a 5-litre V8. Yes, a 5-litre V8 and front-wheel drive. This is going to be easy, isn't it? How could anything possibly go wrong with attempting to control this? We're going to go with a bunch of cast iron stuff to keep it cheap, as muscle cars generally don't want to be too expensive. Ooh, there's mechanical fuel injection available, but I don't think we'll bother. It's still a bit early to go jumping on that, especially, as I say, we want it to be relatively cheap. Twin carb or quad carb? I think quad carburetor, eco. Because eco carburetors in themselves would be quite cheap, so we should be able to afford to use 4 of them. And we will go with standard quality fuel. Or there's actually regular, that's not leaded. I'll try that. See how we go. Start with short cast on here. I might upgrade it if it's necessary. And we will go with a pair of baffled mufflers for the time being. It makes 18 horsepower. That is not impressive at all. I have had a ridiculous idea. Because everyone goes on about the original Golf being the first hot hatchback and all that. Which, even though it was made after a Lotus hatchback or something. Sunbeam Lotus hatchback. I have had a crazy idea. If I can find a hatchback. Oh, yes. This is going to be good if it goes as I'm hoping. The engine doesn't fit, no, not at the moment. But if it does, if it can be got to fit, boy, will we have some fun. No, even fuel injection doesn't get much more power than just a pair of twin eco carburetors by the looks of it. Unless it completely transformed the engine and I just had to change it a bit more and I didn't realise. How about aluminium? Nope. It's under pony budget at the moment, which is probably the best link I've got to anything kind of muscly. I have to get 200 horsepower. That is my aim. My one aim in life is to get 200 horsepower. So, how will I get that? How will I intend to get that power, I wonder? Flat 6? No, a flat 6 wouldn't fit. This V6 is about as big an engine as I'm ever going to get in here. That is another difficult thing. Ooh. That's strange. Normally the pony categories prefer having 4 seats over 5. So the fact that I actually lose market points for getting rid of a seat there is quite interesting. Low comfort penalty. Well, you think this is ever going to be comfortable? Let's be honest. Look at how tiny it is. Do. Standard safety? No. They want advanced safety. Or do we want basic? No. It was worth a try. How about the steering? None. Because they are big muscle men. Well, I can save a bit of money that way, and it doesn't really affect the markets. Maybe it's a bit lighter as well on the front. 65% front, okay. That's just about okay. If it is going to the front, yeah, it is. So, what are we going to do? We might have to go with some kind of wing on the back to hopefully add a bit of downforce, although I'm not sure the aero was entirely functional back then. I have the 70s equivalent of run flats on the car, but I can fit massive front brakes. So 250... 0.7... 0.8, there we go. Quite large front brakes actually, even when you consider this is a tiny car. And how about the rear? The rear brakes are not too powerful, apparently, but it's not complaining. It's not saying they're too powerful or they're too underpowered. So I'm going to just leave them at 160. Hope no one notices. The low capacity engine bay, rear tyres, brakes. Okay, I think everything is done. 13 miles per gallon. I guess I could adjust the transmission and see if there's anything to be had there. I could also try the tyres. Nah, market didn't really see anything in them. Unless I go with semi-slicks. No, definitely nothing in them. I guess it'll push the price up far too much. I mean, these tyres for the 70s are already very, very wide. And to have sport tyres, and they're going to be the one ultra expensive item on this car. Or them and the engine are both quite big ticket items. Everything else, just not. So, continuing with the little car, big engine scheme. I tried a Satsuma. It didn't really work. Ooh. They're not really muscle cars, are they, though? Can we have seats? No. You can't decide based on how many seats they have. There is a lot of older, slightly older cars here. We have this Ford Cortina, by the looks of it. I could do one of these, although it's apparently from the 1950s. It could work, you know. What else have we got? We've got a 60s car here. How big is this one? I'll try this, since it is pretty compact, actually. Yeah, I feel I could turn it into a real muscle car with a large engine. Come on. We'll go solid axle leaf, trailing arm. Maybe, no. Tri-leafs. Leafies. They are very cheap suspension on the back. Why have I got an inline 6 in here? That's not what I asked for. I've got an inline 4 now. Yeah, this is going to fit something big, that's for sure. So if I go with a 60-degree V8, it doesn't fit, which is strange, based on what it was fitting before with the inline 4. So I have done a little more adjusting with this engine, and it now makes 307 horsepower. Really wasn't that hard, but Anyway, I do have another way of improving the weight balance that I didn't actually think of earlier for some ridiculous reason. But we do have an estate body. Oh, that can get quite messy actually. But we do have an estate body, and do I want it that vertical? Probably not. Maybe I wanted a bit more horizontal. Yeah, like that. And anyway, the estate body, I just have to basically do what I did before with it. It won't let me move it back. Oh, that's strange. Maybe it's already moved back as it was. This is the same car though. Fundamentally, it's just an estate. Maybe less stiff, but it'll do the job, you know? As a kind of muscle car of sorts. It's not very economical. Muscle cars aren't very economical. But then it is powerful. 300 horsepower is not to be laughed at. Ooh. The tyres might by default be wider on this. Or maybe not. I don't know. 225s is seemingly the max there. On the rear, who knows what I could do with those tyres, but for the time being, that should have improved it somewhat. If we look at this, 1428, it's almost certainly rear weight though, going from where the estate body is. Yeah, 58% front. I don't mind adding a bit of weight to the back if it makes it better balanced. That's the thing. What have we got here? Why have we got hydropneumatic sports suspension? That's what I want to know. Such a strange combination of things. I could just go with double wishbone on the back, to be honest. To be quite vitally honest with it, it's probably better to do that, or to do double wishbone front and rear, than it is to try and compensate with hydropneumatics. Even so, they do like having stupidly advanced things, which just doesn't feel right for a muscle car. Progressive? Yeah, gas monotube, that's close enough for me. So that should save us a bit of money on the suspension. We've spent more by going for double wishbone front and rear, but at least this, when it goes wrong, it should be a much more attainable solution. We'll go comfort, normal. Oh, normal on this suspension system is better on the market. I didn't think of it that way. The actual setup has changed it. I trust it won't have now changed whether it wants struts or not and training arm or not. No. Yeah, as I was saying, it's the best compromise. So that's why I'm doing it this way. It's actually got a good level of comfort now over the class, whereas before on the sport suspension it was just very, very poor. It thinks the rear brake force is low. It thinks that it's tending to oversteer. The only real solution is to add tyre width on the back. I guess it's not really what you would expect from a 70s muscle car. However, it works for fixing the problems. So in this case, it's what needs to be done. The car is load capacity. Is it oversteering now? No, it's apparently not oversteering. The car apparently isn't oversteering at 255s. Yeah, it just needs that extra bit of grip on the back. It is still putting down a lot of power. We must remember. I can't fit 255s on the front either unless I go crazy and mess with it. But the wheel arch things are the constraining factor there, so I just can't really do it. We can not change the engine bay at this stage. We have a low load capacity and the rear brake force is low. Oh dear. Okay, so after some very basic design work that took longer than it should have taken. I have a car complete with some aero, which probably does nothing because it's 1970. And you'll see it's very, very simplistic on the back. Yeah, I paid minimal attention to that. Just minimal effort there. But hey, it works. What can I say? Anyway, we do have to export this to Beam. I think I've done a good enough job of it actually, and then we can actually see how it drives. Okay, so here I am at the recreation of Trial Mountain within BeamNG. It is not the exact Trial Mountain, but it's fairly close, and I've decided on this because it's reasonably frame rate friendly. Compared to Italy, which was a frame rate destroyer and it took about 2 years to load in. I was originally going to do a time trial series around there, but it just clearly wasn't working for the reasons I mentioned. This car is so noisy. I mean, I feel like it's going to be picking it up through the microphone, even though I'm wearing headphones. Come on. This, I feel, can be quick. Even if it's not the most powerful vehicle in the world, or even the most controllable from my past experience. Oh, come on. Yeah, I shouldn't have shifted down to first. That was my mistake. But in Italy, when I was driving this, I was shifting into first a lot, and there was a good reason for it. Gently through here, shifting to second, and floor it basically. Oh, maybe I floored it a bit too much. Yeah, again, I shifted into first and it didn't like it too much. I need to learn to try and keep this in second unless I absolutely have to shift down, since that's just the nature of this course. Braking isn't the most stable thing ever though. It is still a car from 1970. No, don't hit the wall, don't hit the wall. I can run close, but I can't hit it. Come on. Shift there, maybe a bit earlier than I technically needed to shift, but it works, so who can complain? Fourth gear. And I'm gonna slow down here, tap on the brakes, second gear. I kind of went into first, I think, but yeah, my mind just wasn't mapping the gears properly, so that's why. Third gear. It just feels so good to roll through the gears in here, you know? A proper gated shifter. It's better than using a paddle shift in my opinion. First gear, I think this is one of the times that requires it. Second gear, just snatched it at the right moment. Oh, how did I go into neutral there? I'm sure I shifted to third, not first, so it should have just been fine. Come on. Either way, let's see. I was doing some testing on this circuit in a... what's it? Ibishu Kashira Cargo, I think they call it. Surprisingly enough, despite having nowhere near as much noise or power as this, it's not as much slower as you would think. Like, that first lap is similar to the best lap I set in the Kashira. I mean, that did have 6 laps because, as I say, that was kind of my test vehicle for checking the frame rate and everything was running just right, and it wasn't in certain cases, so yeah, I had to adjust stuff. But anyway, yeah, keeping it down here into second. Oh, I mean, I say into second, it was already in second, so I didn't need to shift, I just had to keep it in second. That's probably a better way of phrasing the term. First through here. Second, as I bounce off a weather limiter, probably unsafely. Did they even have weather limiters in 1970? They might have. I don't know. Come on. Oh, along we go. Third gear. Second again. Trying to balance everything out. It doesn't feel bad. And this lap as well. This feels like a good lap. So as long as I can keep everything together, I could be in for a monster one. I shouldn't have been saying that. I know how Curse of a Commentator works. Come on. Along we go. Oh, the rear did not like that, and the rear stuck out. Come on. Maybe I'm not in second, but I don't think I need to be at this moment. Now I need to go. second. Yeah, not putting too much power down, shifting to first. Again, one of a few places on the circuit where you need it. Second gear. Fourth gear as well is very seldom used. But then, what can I say? Oh, dearie me. I think I'm just about recovering this, but I don't know. My hands were all over the place there, so I will have no doubt lost a whole bit of time. Oh! I shifted into fourth there. Not out of instinct, just because I was trying to find a half-decent way of getting some speed out of it. Now, yeah, we've gained a lot of pace over the first lap, so into second, round here, flooring it, slight lift, can tap the brakes now and again when I want it to slow down. Into that curb, very nice. The suspension on this feels surprisingly forgiving. Maybe that's helping maybe that's helped by having the double wishbone all round. Come on, accelerate. Whoa! Yep, second gear. Keep it there. First. Whoa! I don't know. I'm slightly lost for words as to what to say. It does like second gear. Ooh, bit of an unintentional wheel tug there just to get it back under control. I think I can keep it into second round here. Whoa! Come on. How did I recover that? I don't know. Again, I will have lost some time, but I'm just quite frankly amazed that I didn't lose the rear end. I was sure it was going to go, but it didn't. It just about held on for dear life. Ooh. Got to slow. Into second. Through the, not middle of the corner, but the inner edge. I could have probably done that quicker, I will be honest. But I just didn't want to rush. I didn't want to overpower it and spin the rear wheels when it was unnecessary to do such. Shift down into first. Ooh. Did a bit of a wheel tug there. Not as big as one of the ones I had before, but still, it was a wheel tug. Second. We're not needing first yet. Come on. Along we go. Find your traction. Into third. We went back there, and then we're going to go down to second again. No. Okay. We've had it. Sorry. I mean, I tried. I just got to that corner and I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I have managed to turn it around and face the correct direction, but it's already slower than the second lap. Well, the second lap was okay at least. I mean, I'm not going to complain too much about 2:17. I don't know how good that is overall, but I get the feeling it's decent at the very least. So, just to get a bit of a breathing space, yeah, turn the engine off. This is a pretty reasonable car to drive. I will say that much. I haven't totaled it. I mean, just look at how tidy it is. And that engine is massive. It's a massive engine outright, not just for a car of this size as well. But I am going to compare this to a Miramar with a V8 and an automatic transmission. A V8 from the D-Series, actually, just to see how it will compare. Oh, also, and I forgot to mention this earlier, but I have the bonnet thingy on there. That's because the carburetors were sticking through the bonnet, so it was a good easy fix. I just decided I'd go with it. Anyway, on to a Miramar. So, here we have a car, living in the colour scheme of a slightly older Core2 Duo. Blue and white, as opposed to blue and chrome, I guess. Anyway, it is the Miramar I was mentioning, and we need to get going. It's an automatic, so hopefully I won't make the stupid mistake again of trying to launch in manual mode. There we go. Spinning the tyres a bit, but that is reasonably healthy at least. I mean, this does handle well, and it did in Italy when I tried to drive it, but as I say, the footage wasn't great there because it lagged, basically. My PC can't handle that. Oh. The noise is throwing me off a bit. I don't know what to make of it. It doesn't seem to be correlating with what the car's doing. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's because it's just toned down and quieter compared to mine, and that was the automatic transmission. Oh dear. Come on. Yeah, it just doesn't seem quite as responsive, quite as sporty. That's what I'm getting from it. And it is less powerful from a merely 4.5 litre V8, which makes less power. So, yeah, go figure. Oh, gentle, gentle. It's got, I think, the old sound files from BeamNG, so that would explain why it sounds like a car from Gran Turismo 4. Hey, we're on Trial Mountain, so that's a semi-relevant reference, I reckon. We'll go... Oh! No, no, no! Can't accelerate over 100 by that much, because, well, it'll become a disaster! Oh, come on, yes, I rescued something! I have done rescuing today. I feel good about myself. I was passing the wheel from my hand... from one hand to the other there. These tyres clearly don't have the same level of grip, and it's ever present, but mostly present round a course like this where you have the higher speed areas. My car was actually relatively stable. This, I notice it's easier to lose stability, so much easier. Although it doesn't feel particularly slow if I get it right. I mean, there's the problem. It relies on me getting everything right. Whereas I'm not sure I can do that. I'm not a great driver in myself. You saw how I messed up the last lap with my own car, the TAF 500. Yes, I remembered its name. I almost messed up the gears in this and just changed into one of the, I think, higher low range, as it is. Oh, dearie me. We're in the sand trap, we're in the sand trap. That is not healthy. I might have done the same in my car in the second lap. Oh dear. No, gently, gently does it. Yes, thankfully I hit that rumble strip there at about the right time. Not to cause any too major damage. I've got to just try with this. I mean, the car's trying, so why can't I? It looks like smoothness is complementing this car a lot. It's, you know, it's not the same as mine. Mine wanted you to, in a way, be aggressive with it. My car wanted you to push it round corners for all it's worth. Use that full 300 horsepower. This car, it wants you to use its power, but it wants you to be eased out of corners. It doesn't want you to pressure it out of corners in the same way. It doesn't want you to grab it and drag it out. It wants you to encourage it on its own way. Ooh, I think it's a hill there as well as the speed. But I think it's just the speed combined with cresting the hill and not much grip. And I guess suspension is probably slightly on the firm side, but does it for the car. Wait, gently, yes. Again, talking about easing it, I'm not going aggressively, excessively through there. So, that is helping the car a huge amount. Come on, through here we go. This lap is already, I feel, better. Just because I've learned what the car requires of me. Come on. Yep, running it a bit close to the wall there. A bit closer than I'd like, but hey, it's working. What can I complain about? I'm not going to say anything. Commentators curse and all the rest of it. So, there we go. Oh, that is a flip ramp. You'll see on the right, I just went past the Trial Mountain flip ramp. No one seems to call it that, but I call it that. Because it has a tendency to roll cars. And, well, if you drive this course on an old Gran Turismo game, maybe you'll see my point. Just fly at it in a Sabera Speed 12 or whatever. If you can keep it in the straight line. And you'll see. It might roll when you try and hit that at ultra high speed. Well, you cut across the grass. That's how you do it. Well, you cut across the grass and then fly up on that. And I'm getting completely sidetracked. That's an entirely different game. I mean, hey, look at that time for the second lap, though. Yeah, I'm easily distracted. But look at that time. It's pointed very close. this may be able to beat my car just like it did in Italy. And that is saying something, considering I think my car is so much nicer to drive around here. Oh, don't push it too close. I was a complete fool there, and I almost hooked the car on the wall and messed everything up for it. Come on. Lifting off, yes, lifting off there paid me great dividends. Oh. I'm just gently braking. It is pushing me wide, but I think that's probably a better solution overall, because it means that whatever speed I get from it is going to be more leveled, more balanced, and once this thing kicks out, I just know I'm going to lose that bit of speed from it kicking out, from needing to fight the car. As I said, it doesn't want to be fighted, yeah. It doesn't want to be fought. If there is speed to be had, it's speed from working with the car. Come on. Slow me down. Nicely done. And I'll accelerate through here, gently but easily done in a curve, like so. Wow, this is properly rapid. Yeah, my car is doomed. My car is properly doomed. I think mine was a 127 and this was just under 1 minute 11. So, yeah, as I was saying, work with the car and incredible things can be accomplished. Man, this does have a more modern engine. Yeah, that's the excuse I'm hiding behind. Even though technically my engine is the better engine despite its age difference, because it's made of aluminium and everything. Either way, I'm going to leave this video here. We have 2 vehicles on our leaderboard. I reckon that this car is going to hold up a fight though, even against more modern machines. I seriously do reckon that. Oh, also the tyres, I would say, are better, but as we saw when hot lapping this thing, it clearly just didn't have the grip. So I'm going to leave it here, and I will say, we will see, get rid of that. Goodbye, until another day.